Right, something a bit different. Got a bucket with some squid, crab and mussel. Mussels from the supermarket, not from the beaches. We don't tend to get mussels over here. We get a few little ones here and there, but not in any numbers or any particular size really. So. And we're going to take our crab wheels. We are down here. We're going to go around the back. I hope there's nobody around there, because there's not much of a space around the back anyway. It's easier to fish from here, but a lot of ropes here at this time of year. Right, we're heading over to the mark. You see these rocks, they're black. They're perfectly safe when they're dry. They get a bit of water on them, they're like ice. It's always a bit of an awkward place to get to because the rocks are very sharp, like the way they're cut. And it's the way the sea crashes in over the centuries has basically cut them like this. So you're literally walking along sort of pinnacle bits, which isn't easy. See, there's a few deep pools there. One thing I was going to do, I was actually going to get some shrimp, try a few shrimps, but I forgot to bring a net, so it doesn't matter. We'll go with what we got. We got crab, and that's what you need really for the wrasse. You can use other things, worm and that, but you'll tend to get the smaller fish when you use worm. But you see the tide comes in around here. And cut you off, that's why we're going now. The tide is actually going down, and hopefully I'll still catch. Catching crab isn't necessarily brilliant when the tide's going down. They tend to move in as the tide comes in, but there's always usually a few around, especially with there being a lot around this year. And this is where we're going to be fishing. But there's a fisherman out there already, look. I don't know if you can see that. The black bird with a long neck swimming around in the water. He'll be ducking around looking for little fish. Now, hopefully the water's not too murky, because catching rockfish in murky water is not a good thing. When there's a bit of swell, they tend to stop feeding. But I wouldn't say there's any swell. Anyway, let's see if I can go that way. But then I've got to go for a pull and slimy brown weed, which again is lethal, or we go straight down here, which is a bit more dicey, or we go this way. And the wind is blowing, hopefully not too much at the camera. We should be sheltered when we get down here. I think I'll take this route. Years ago I'd have just gone straight down like a mountain goat, but as I'm getting older I've got to be a little bit more cautious. I will head. This is why you should really have this stuff on your back and your hands free. It's not so windy down here, so that's really nice down here. I don't really want to go that way because I'll have to go through that puddle otherwise. And I haven't brought my wellies today, so I'll go down this way. There we go. Now you think you could go over there, but you'd actually have to come down the cliffs over that way, because this way, you see there's a dirty great gully, which has got water in, and getting around to that, there's actually a worse one further around. Not the easiest. You can actually just walk over the top and down along there. Out there looks good. I've never been out there. I've been on most of these cliffs, but that one spot I haven't been on. It's probably really good. Judging by those crab pots actually right in there, I'd assume that's a very good spot. Or very deep at least. Right. So we'll set up somewhere around here and we'll be back when we're fishing. Right, there we go, simple setup. Just a pattern off the kind of thing, or sliding one. You've got your weight on that line, 12-pound line. Got 23-pound line I think for the trace, 30-pound main, because these fish, when they dive for the bottom, they will dive. And just a weight. You can use an old nut or bolt if you like, if you want to save it, because the ground is rough, and the reason for the 12-pound is that I can snap it. Hooks, always tough hooks, cast ones. I've only got a small one on because I'm trying to see what's about, and I don't have any big ones with me either. And the idea is, normally I'd use a lot bigger one, because I've even snapped 3/0 hooks on these fish, and I know the fish was 6.5 pound that snapped it, because I caught it again later with the hook in it. Right, going to bait up and then we'll get this into the water. Now I'm going to be putting the crab wheels out, see if there's any crabs out there. The only thing is I've only got some squid, I have no bait. This is why we're down here. I need to get some rockfish for my crab pots. Now rockfish isn't fished for commercially, so it should be plenty around. The waters might be a bit cold at the moment, they normally need it a bit warmer, but all I can do with the crab wheel at the moment is just throw some squid in like this, because this is all I've got. An old box of squid that I was going to use in the winter for bream, but I only went once or twice because of the weather, so chuck those in there. I don't like using squid, I don't find it that good at all, but not for this. But it will work, and if it's all you got, then you've got to go with what you got. Just going to make sure that's on like that, so it's just a wire in the centre like that, as you see. Flip those over so they're back a bit. That's one, and then I'll put this one out as well. Take 2 wheels out. One with the homemade net, one with a bit of old net, probably washed up on a beach somewhere. And we'll stick that in. Probably find the crabs will rip this off quite easy, which won't be a good thing, because then they'll be sitting there eating this. If we catch a fish, I might use a bit of fish. That'll do for now. Just see how we get on with that. Putting that wire back like that. That should be good. Okay, right. Let's go and take the wheel down on this side first. Put one wheel this side, one wheel the other side. Spread our chances. We could go off that rock, but you see water comes around the back. I mean, the tide's going down, but like I say, I haven't got my wellies, so. And I don't like to jump too much these days because I've a bit of a cartilage problem in my back, so try and avoid that as much as possible. Hopefully these wheels will stay here. You can see somebody's actually had a crab pot there, or a wheel or something. There's a rope there, probably a crab pot, but it's actually broken, that rope. Where they stuck a stick in, or a pole. Might have been somebody doing pots off the shore, but this is not the place to put pots really. You get storms coming in from over there, and you get storms coming in from there, and you can see that goes, well, that goes over to Jersey or France, and that way is kind of the Atlantic. So pretty harsh weather. You need to pick your spot for putting a crab pot in. All right, in nice calm weather, but get caught out, and we had some big swells a while back. That's probably why that pot is gone. Right. Can't remember where to put this. About there, I think. There is like a gully down there. You need to get the wheel just into it without it flipping over. Now this one, take it over this side somewhere. See if we can see any crabs. I can't see any at the moment. As the tide drops, we might. The tide's fairly large today, so sometimes you'll see them sitting there eating. In fact, I might see one down there. That's possibly, there's one straight that way, because they sit quite high up on these rocks. We'll see. Yeah, that is one. That is definitely a crab down there. I can see that one. It's moving. don't know if you can pick it up on the camera at all, but it's very pale. It's heading down that way into that hole there. So I wonder if we throw the wheel down there. I think it was a female. Looked at. Yeah, it's just on the rock down there. You can actually throw the wheel in sometimes, actually watch them walk into the wheel. But there are crabs. I can see another one further over and another one to the left. So we know there are spiders down here. We just need a big one. And we need our bait to work, because like I said, I'd rather have fish in the wheel than that. So I'm going to throw the wheel down in that way, and then I'll throw it over that way afterwards. I want to fish on the left first, so. Right. Now, we should catch something. Like I said, there's quite a few around, so. Just got to throw this in the right place. And that was a bad throw. It might make it. No, it's tipped. I will bring that back up. I was thinking that crab on the rocks there, we could almost throw it on it and try and scoop it up. This will be interesting. Let's try it, just for a laugh. So let's throw that out. So there, that was actually the perfect throw. No, actually I'm going to let that go down. That is the perfect position where I wanted it. So this wheel seems to want to tip. Sometimes if you just tug on the rope as it goes down, just to stop it flipping over. That's down. But that crab, you might see it now actually, it's quite bright now. But he might head down to the wheel, so because the tide will be going out, so he'll be heading that way to get away from the obviously the drying land. Let's pop that into there. Any old cribs will do. That will do. Right, fishing rod time. I've hit a crab on my line, and we're just going to try down this edge down here, or just out there a little bit. You don't want to go too far out, because the fish will dive for the weed when you get hooked. You want to better bring them straight up if you can. Right, let's wait and see. Let me just try and get this camera in a better position. I might put it on the tripod afterwards. Right, just had a bite. I was just looking actually at the crab wheel. There is actually a crab. I can see the bait down there. I don't know if you can see it, but that white thing, if you can see it. There's actually 2 or 3 crabs that look like they're walking towards it. I can see the light colours around the wheel. They're not in it yet, but very close. One is actually climbing into it now, I think. The thing is, sometimes you see them and they're actually under the wheel, which isn't good. But anyway, we're just waiting to see if this bite develops. We're actually moved it a little bit to the left because I wasn't getting anything on the right. Yeah, that crab is actually in the wheel now. I don't think it's a big one though, so we'll just leave him for now, because there is another one heading towards it, I believe. Once one goes in, they all go in, so. And it's only been 5 minutes since we put it down. I might go over there afterwards and put the wheel just down over there. We will go across that rock, but just let the tide go down. It's still going down, so we've got a couple of hours of it to go down yet. But that crab down there is definitely on the bait now. And that wheel seems a bit tipped up. I think we're going to pull the wheel, because I think they're pulling on it, or they're on it, and it's tipping a little bit. So where do we put our rod? Put it down here, I suppose. Be fine. Right. Gonna lift this wheel. Like I said, there is a crab on it, but the wheel is tilted now, so it must have been pulled sideways a bit. Well, we've got a couple in there. Look at that lot. Ah, they seem to have got a bit hitched on the rock. Sorry, just hit the off switch then. There we go. Piles of crabs. They're going to be mostly female, they usually are. This is a big female actually. That one. Big female, a couple of small ones. we'll throw these back. You can see they're devastating the bait so quickly. What I'll do is I'll put them back in a minute. I just want to move the crab away from the where I'm going to put them, where I'm wheeling, so I'm going to take them over that way. But what we'll do is we will check this other wheel while we're at it, because if that one's bait's going that quick, this one will go quick too. In fact, we'll probably run out of bait before, at this rate. Right, let's see if there's anything in this one. Trouble is, this one comes up a bit of a rock edge, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, this wheel's got jammed on that rock. Yeah, nothing in this one, but you see the bait has been torn to shreds a bit, so the wheel might have been on its side. But we'll try again. In fact, we'll try it down there instead. A little bit more here. So there is actually a crab, I think, in the wheel, a smaller one, but there does seem to be a couple of large ones that might be making their way to it. They stand out quite well. I can see at least two from here, quite deep down, so I'm assuming they're pretty big. So we're going to wait and see if they go to it, and hopefully the bait won't get stripped out before they get there. Now I'm going to pull this wheel in now. There is one in there, but I've just seen a couple of real buttes down there, and they seem to be pulling back obviously from the rock, so you get to see them. So I'm going to try and drop the wheel in there. So we'll just go with what's in here, which is just the one, I think. In fact, I'm going to pull it from... No, I'll have to pull it this way first, because it gets jammed on this ledge every time I pull it. Yeah, it's just a small one, I think, in here. Yeah, just one small one. Come on, wheel. Doesn't matter if that one falls out. As I say, it's only a small one. What we'll do is we'll send him over that way. There we go. And we'll try and get this wheel down in this hole. To throw it further first. That should be perfect. I think he's got hold of it. No, I missed him. Took it too late. I think I probably ripped my bait off. Right, I got spiders in the wheel, so we're going to lift the wheel up, rebait, and try and get that fish again. It's all go, like I say. It's nice when it's like this. Nice if I could catch a fish though. Right, then I'd have some bait at least. Right, there's at least one spider in there, hanging on the wires. Looks like a fairly sized male. Not a giant, but still a decent male. You see, I'm kind of spoilt with the ones in the boat recently. Normally I'd be over the moon with things like that. Right, let's get this wheel back, straight back down there, I think, the same spot. Or nearly the same spot. Ooh, that washed in a little bit. But, come on. Ooh. Okay, maybe I didn't. I've still got my bait, so we're going straight back in. And after this, I'm going to change my hook because I don't like this hook. Oh man, that was a bad cast. Right, try again. Then we've got to go and check wheels straight after this. Fish is probably tiny, that's why. It's probably like a tiny little thing that's not getting hooked. Right, this time. We got it this time. Oh, what is going on? That should have hooked. I mean, he ran with it. This hook is shite. That's all there is to it. All my fishing shite. Yeah, this hook is crap. I'm going to change this hook out. I lost all the weight on that because I struck so hard. Maybe I should put a slightly heavier weight trace before I run out of hooks, run out of weights. We got him this time. There we go, finally. Whew, it's been hard work this one, I'll tell you. Absolute hard work. But we got one. We also have bait for our crab wheel or for our crab pots, because this stuff is brilliant for lobster. I'm definitely going to keep it because I'm struggling with bait at the moment, and I don't want to go out and buy stuff which has been caught from factory ships. So there you go, one wrasse, a green one. Right, I'm going to try again. So I'd like to get a couple, and I might put some of that in the wheel in a minute as well. Right, you can see we moved positions. I'm going to check this wheel, although it's probably got all the bait stripped out of it by now, so I've left it here too long. There is a crab in it. That's about the biggest one we've had today as well. See, moving it a bit deeper produced the goods. That's a fine crab, that one. That is a nice one. That's a beaut. I'll be taking this one home with me for sure. That is a nice big crab. Okay. I'll put it there for a minute, hopefully it won't run away. I'm just going to put a bit more bait in this. I'm going to put 2 wheels down here now, and then I'm going to go and get the rod, come back, and we'll fish here. I'm going to use up my squid first. I might use that fish I caught, but I might save it for my crab pots. I'll see how we get on with the squid. If the squid survives long enough, we'll stay with the squid. Right, that's that done. So throw this one down here and we'll throw the other one further out.